copying this down so you probably have this part. The following formula can be used. Let me give you the rest of that. So you can finish copying. The distance will be positive if the point and the origin are on opposite sides of the line, and negative if the point and origin are on the same side of the line. The reality is, if they're asking for the distance, you're always going to report a positive number. But sometimes when you're doing the work, you'll get a negative number. And so what this really means is when that's negative, that means the line and the point are both on the same side of the origin. If you get a positive number, that means the origin is between your line and your point. The formula we use said A times x1 plus b times y1 plus c over plus or minus a squared. It was plus b squared, wasn't it? And so what's the value of a? 5. And what's x1? X1 is what? 3. And what's b? Negative 3. Or I should have said minus 3. What's y1?
5.
Plus 10. And then we get a was 5. Negative 3 squared. Now, we haven't chosen a sign yet, okay, plus or minus. So we have to determine which side this is on, okay. The point 3,5 is here, and if I rewrote this, I would get negative 3y minus 5x minus, equals negative 5x minus 10. And so y is equal to 5/3 x
Wait, would you switch it?
plus 10/3. I just want to look at where this equation is, where the graph of the line is, I mean. And so I'm just quickly changing it to slope-intercept form because for me it's hard for me to see that from standard form.
I was talking about switching the sign of the 3 since you switched the sign, but then I realized you switched the sign for everything. So.
Right. So 10/3 is 3 1/3, and 5/3 up 5. So it's like here. And so we're looking at that distance there. I would say they're on the same side of the origin. Okay? And so I would use a negative. Okay? And so what do I get on top? 15 minus 15 plus 10. On the bottom I get square root of 34. And so if I rationalize that, I have to show how to rationalize that, or do we get that now? Okay. And 10 and 34 both have a 2 in them. So my distance again, this is odd why we would even worry about the negative sign when all we really want in this problem is the distance, which is always going to be a positive number. Okay? And so, to be honest, I'm not too worried about your negatives. And to be completely honest, there aren't any of these questions on the test. But I will collect this assignment, and I expect it to be done. Okay? I'm not going to test you on it, but I want you to have seen it, and I want you to have practiced it, in case you need it again later someday. Okay? So any questions on this one? Very straightforward. You have 7 problems to do. This one's just like it. What should I do first? I'm not going to actually do it. I want you to have time to work.
Put it into AX plus
There you go.
1.
Put it in a standard form. Multiply everything by 3 and move everything over here with the y. Put it in standard form. And it's exactly like the last problem. Yeah, because I have denominator of 3. So if I multiply everything by 3, I don't have a fraction anymore. Remember, standard form, no fractions. Right?
Yeah.
And then this one. Find the distance between the following parallel lines.
Those are great parallels.
Yeah. You like them?
Yeah.
Tell me what they are, please. It's like y equals 2x minus 1.
It's plus 1.
Okay.
And then
2x.
minus y equals 2.
Okay.
What did you
Great.
do here?
Yeah, set that on my desk. Have a seat here. You can get caught up later. Follow and jump into this example with us. Okay? So, what have I shown you so far? Let's recap. What have we done so far? One example, but what did I show you how to do? Found the distance between
Point and then
a
line.
point and a line. So if I have 2 lines, how do I find the distance between 2 parallel lines?
Find points. Find a point that passes through.
Take a point from one of the lines. And this one's in slope-intercept form. What does that mean?
It's up 1 on the y.
It's the y-intercept. So what ordered pair goes with that?
0, 1.
0, 1. That's the easiest way to do it. Now, if it wasn't in slope-intercept form, maybe it's in standard form, then just pick an x value, plug it in, find a y. In other words, choose one of the equations and find a point. Okay? And then this one, we have to move my 2 over. Is that equal to 0? Now we have a point. We have standard form. And so we use the formula. I'll rewrite it for AJ. It was ax1 plus by1 plus c over plus or minus, and they really don't matter, the plus or minus, a squared plus b squared. And that's the formula we're using today to find the distance from a point to a line. And so what was A? A is 2. And what's x1? 0, right here. And what is, it's minus, I'll just use minus this time. What's y? Yeah, it's just a 1, right, since I used minus? You're saying b is negative 1. Yes, b is this number here. The number in front of the y, negative 1. Times y1, which is 1 minus 2. And then a squared was 2, and b squared is 0. And then plus or minus. The reality is it's not going to matter. Okay?
B was negative 1.
B is negative 1.
You said it was 0.
Oh. I'm sorry. Thank you. Yes, B is -1, it's this number right here. Sorry, I got in a hurry, trying to get you guys going. Okay, so A is 2 and B is -1. Okay, so what is 2 times 0? Minus 1 minus 2 is minus 3. Okay, and then it's over square root of 5, plus or minus. And like I said before, it's not going to matter, is it? If I get a negative, I'm going to say the distance is the positive. If I get positive, I'm going to say the distance is positive. The only difference is whether this was a plus or minus. The difference is that it's where is the line and the point from the origin. Okay? So if I rationalize that, I get -3 square root of 5 over 5. And so what's our distance? 3 square root of 5 over 5. The distance is always a positive number. Okay? Distance is always positive. Let me. So, in this problem, based on my notes, they must be on opposite sides. Okay? All right. I'm not going to do this one, but what would we do to find this one?
The top one, the numbers of people are in the bottom of the square for, it's 20 to the top and put it in the.
Okay. You're going to get some big numbers this way, but she's saying all I have to do is move my 4x over, and I have it in slope-intercept form, so it's a quick, easy way to find an ordered pair, isn't it? 0, 6. That's what that number represents. So that's an ordered pair that's on that line. And then this one, plus 8y minus 68 equals 0. Okay?
How do you get random numbers? How would you do it?
I could have plugged in 0 for x here and solved for y, and then move my 6 over. And,
Oh,
okay? You couldn't see that. I was saying I could plug 0 in for x and this one solve for y, and then use my other equation that had smaller numbers in it. So it doesn't matter. I mean, what you did is going to be easy also. It's just that you're going to get bigger numbers. Okay? If they say round to the 100th or round to the 10th, you don't have to worry about rationalizing, then it really doesn't matter how big the numbers are. You're just going to use your calculator anyway. Plug them in. Okay? All right. You only have 7 problems. It's 11 through 23 odds. Okay? And they're all like the ones we did. And when you're done, you can get help on other things you don't have done, or you can work on your practice test. It's up to you. You'll have all day tomorrow to work on your practice test. Great. 11 through 23 odds.